Hello. Well, this is a pretty good decode, I reckon. We're going to be looking at 9/11 references um, within the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony, okay, and then we're going to look at the connection with what I would call a sort of, it's almost like a twinned music video, and even the idea with symphony, and we're looking at Massive Attack's Unfinished Sympathy, okay, but of course they're using a play on words there, because obviously if you listen to that song, they've got the stringed orchestral strings vibe going on in that as well, okay, so you have that kind of symphony idea within their song as well. So what I'm saying is we've got two songs here that are echoing ideas, like they're like twins, okay? And we're going to look at 9/11 references within the two, and we're also going to look at maybe a couple of references to coming out of the system to the dam breaking, okay? So this is actually going to take a little while, even though this is only 4:35 long. We're going to go through the video. In fact, I'm going to turn off the sound. I'm just going to basically click through, and hopefully I can hit most of the key parts, okay, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that references 9/11, and then we'll go over to Massive Attack, and then we'll have a little general chit chat about the whole thing. Okay, so he's starting off, he's not making a move, and you need to look exactly where he's starting here, okay. We've got a reference here, he's obviously wearing all black, okay, and we do have a nice little eclipse reference up here. But the thing to note is this crossing the street here, right? Just check out, some of the markings on the street for starters, right? Just like these two dotted lines here are like towers. Now I know people will be like, "Bloomin' hell, you're reaching a bit if this is going to be a 9/11 reference right here with these two, with the give way markings on the road, Dan." But yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is an 11 reference, okay? The point is to observe everything that's in the frame, right? And also with the yield, or the, as this would be in America, or the give way sign, right, on the road there. Again, it's a triangle. It's a downward pointing triangle. This is again going into the downward pointed triangle, into the womb, back into the womb, right? Back into the protection of the system, back behind the shield, yeah? Again, he's going to wait for a little while before he starts his little voyage, his odyssey. We've got this dude coming past on skates, and interestingly, she has the white top on, representing the moon going past, right, I think, and obviously black underneath. He's walking across, and of course the skates that she's got on are rollerblades, okay, so I mean, okay, that is, to me, that is another 11 reference. Okay, let's back that up a bit, because this car that about runs him over, again, VW, okay. What do I want to say about VW, apart from, again, the same idea, the VW, the womb, again, going back into the womb. Again, this is all black, and again, it's a golf, a VW Golf. Again, the golf ball, again, is the moon. So this is the idea about going into the eclipsed version of the moon, okay, or rather the moon that's eclipsing the sun, should I say? Okay, so this is the black pearl, right? Anyway, crack on down, because we're going to be here all night otherwise. Come on. So he's come across there. So this is, people will be going, "Oh, that's real loose. That's loose symbolism there, Dan." Okay, he's coming down the road. First guy we see crossing him, the barred guy, the jailbird, Jailbird Joey here. It's interesting we go past the fried chicken as well. This is not a KFC, but the fried chicken, of course, the Colonel, does bear a resemblance to the Wizard of Oz, right? Okay, and we do have the green over here, the Matrix. Okay, so this is, I mean, again, pretty interesting. I don't know about this sign here. There's probably something going on with this sign as well, with the green on it. Okay, whereas it wasn't on the first pedestrian sign here, and they've got this little bit of green on there, and maybe this. I'm not really sure about this broken tail here, like the thing's split. Okay, that arrow is split, and we have the green of the matrix at the splitting point. Okay, so this idea of going into the matrix maybe right here with this pedestrian sign. Okay, carry on down, crack on, crack on. We're going to go past some old ladies. Okay, great. Oh, come on. So the first two people if you've seen the video, you know that Richard is crashing into people going down the street. But look, who's he crashing into? He's crashing into pairs of people. Yeah. Okay, they're not exactly twins, but he's smashing into pairs of people. Again, the black pearl. This is almost like a greeny matrixy color as well here, with the with the boxes on and the little monoliths and everything. That's great. Again, ready? Boom. An 11 knocked into, broken. A broken 11 again. Okay, the idea of the twin towers being hit. Okay, it does this all the way down the road. I mean, it's just, I don't know how many times he does it, but he does it an awful lot. Okay. Okay, we're going past the appliances. Okay. This is, this is again, being in the matrix is all about convenience. Okay, and being taken care of. The inventions that we have. Okay, so this is a dudette that he crashes into here, and notice she's got the red on, like the blood moon, and he completely knocks her down. Okay, like she's cast aside. Okay, which again, it's almost like the idea of balance. The blood moon obviously represents balance. Okay, between the earth, the sun, and the moon, and that entity is knocked down. Okay, at that point, he's gone completely past her. Right, that thing's been rejected. Right, and we've got even the raincoat here, this clear see-through raincoat with this old girl. So you'll notice that the outfits as he's walking down the road, at a point they're going to change. Like we've got a lot of stuff that's representing sort of being within the matrix here. The rejection of the blood moon. Okay, the old girl with the glass outfit on there, the raincoat. And again, the next pair that he bumps into. I mean, you just can't write this stuff. We've got this guy on this side here has been dwarfed by what I can only call looks like a drag queen from behind anyway. Okay, so we've got like the feminine has become taken over by the masculine, by the physical, or vice versa. But this is the unbalanced nature of the reality that we're in now. Okay, and we see it with everybody, with men wanting to be women and women wanting to be men. Again, this is what is going on here, but this is in terms of the spiritual taking over a physical manly appearance, but it's actually a feminine appearance, but there's a man underneath that. Okay, he's gone into the feminine. Okay, he's become the feminine, he's become the matrix. Okay, and on this side the man has become this little puny guy. Okay, right, don't know if I'm explaining that well enough, but anyway, crashes through them. Not sure about the Mohican guy there with the funny haircut. Keep going, Dan, keep going. Let's just crack on through it. Now, there's a bit in here, which we should be coming up to here pretty soon. I could ever find it. I actually want to go through the lyrics a little bit as well when we get to this next point. Okay, he crashes past, he goes past that woman twice, once with a man there, and then seconds later he goes past her again and she's pushing, I'm pretty sure it's the same woman, that woman in that sort of purpley coloured outfit. She is now pushing a child when he bumps past her again, all in yellow, okay, which is pretty important with the idea of royalty and the rebirth, of the son, or in this case I think that's a girl in the pushchair, but don't really matter, it's the child being reborn, okay. And I'm pretty sure it's the same woman. So past her, kind of reminds me of the Matrix a bit there. Anyway, right, here we go. Okay, Richard is going to jump up on the metro, on top of the metro's hood, okay, or bonnet. Okay, so he's going over the top of this thing, the metro, of course, the metropolitan, the city, the system that we live in, the metro system. Okay, so he's going over the top of the metro there, and of course the old girl that's driving and is not too happy, so she's going to come after him and start yelling at him. Notice that she has on, she does have some blue, but it's covered, again, she's still covered with, so I'm going to go at him now. We can just about make out the bottom here. She's got like a blue jeans shorts or skirt on, and it's covered with a black sweater that she has tied around her waist, and she also has black leggings on as well. Again, you know, all these two people walking down the road, these two columns walking down the road that he keeps crashing through, okay, multiple references to 9/11, and of course she's got the black legs on as well, with the blue covered up, okay, the Virgin Mary is covered up at that point. But the lyrics at this point, you really have to listen to the lyrics just right at this point. I think actually it's just a second after he walks past her. I let the melody shine, let it cleanse my mind, okay? So the cleansing, yeah, going over the washing away, the washing away of the, you know, all the sin in the world, okay? The cleansing of the world. And of course, I feel free now, okay? And there you can see the sweater around her. And it's covering up the moon side of her, obviously her ass. Excuse my French. Anyway, as he continues down the road, after that point, I feel free now, we have, just play just a second here, so you can see this dude coming across with the blue and white on of the Virgin Mary. Okay, man going back into the divine spiritual now, taking back the divine spiritual, and he's walking towards the guy down here who's actually cleaning as well, cleansing the street. He's walking back towards Jesus down here, the guy that cleanses everybody. Yeah, you know, when you got something wrong with you, you go to Jesus, and he puts his hands on you and he fixes you. Okay, he cleanses you. Here we go. The yellow down here. Okay, returning back to the sun, and as he's doing that, what's interesting is, again, as he's walking past the sun here, we've got the refreshed version of the Matrix here with the blue over the top of the black now. Okay, so we've got the divine feminine returning, and I got to let you see the look she gives him. Okay, you know, all right, how you doing? And then at that point, we have a crossover of, I don't know whether he's walking the path towards this thing you see, and LP here with the green on. Okay, the record starts playing again, the LP starts playing again, and the Matrix Reborn, or maybe the Matrix is now something that is, I don't know how you want to look at that. These two cross over at the same point. It's almost like this thing's reborn and it's off to the races again for the long play. I don't know. You could look at it as this thing is gone. You could look at him chasing it now. I don't know. He's just maintaining his own pace and this thing's just flying off away from him as well. I don't know. So what else we got going on? Oh, there's one more little. Okay, here we go again. I actually might let this play through a little bit here. And again, all the way through this, the lyrics are interesting. It's worth going and listening and figuring out the lyrics. Here's another little point. The brown jag. I don't know what jag is in the Gematria, but again, the idea of the brown. The brown is obviously, I mean, to me, the brown is returning to the earth. Okay, I don't know what other, you know, it's that rust color again of the earth, of the dirt, returning to your roots. I don't know how you want to look at it. There is an interesting reflection up here. I think it says odds in reverse. Again, that's kind of interesting. I put that in the Gematria. I can't remember what it was. Let's just jump to the Gematria. I've got the Verve in there. 105, 111, of course. No doubt in the reverse. And then I had odds in here as well. Oh yeah, 50, 53, and 55. So again, I mean, you can't odds it. Jeez. Right, where was I at? Right, let's get back to that. Okay, it's interesting. He's looking that we've got the reflection there as well. And obviously that, I don't know, you could get a 50 out of that reflection and a number 8 as well. What else have we got going on here? I want to say it was like a 3355 or something on the number plate as well, or it might have been a B355, but it's just, I don't have the resolution is just not very good, and unfortunately when we get to Massive Attack, the resolution is not going to be great either. It just is not good on these things. But look, he's going back across right here. Every time he crosses the road, we've got another Twin Towers reference. And of course, coming on down the road, and I guess we're going to have the whole thing. I guess maybe that was the whole cycle starting over again when the Matrix and the blue old girl cross there. But again, here we go again. We've got the black tower and the white tower, and you know, how many times are we going to have him crash through a pair? Okay, and away we go again. You know, and that's really about it. The rest of the group come and join in right at the very end. He's getting his fingers. He's getting shook at with the old biddy there, shaking her finger at him. And I think, does he crash through another pair of people? I don't know. Blimmin' hell. You just lose track of how many times he's going to crash through the Twin Towers. Okay, so that's pretty interesting in its own right for references to 9/11. And I was like, you know what? When I rewatched this, because I've come back to this so many times now. When I rewatched it, I'm like, going over the metro has got to be, you know, coming out. There's got to be a number there somewhere. So I'm like backing it up, and I'm like, well, you can just about see it. Let me play it a little bit so you can see. And the number, I'm like, oh, it's right there. You just can't write it. You know, we got the 729 right there. What were we just talking about in the last video? 729. It's right there. It's just absolutely nuts. The 4-4 itself, I'm pretty sure in the chart of Lorraine, the 4-4 is actually. Let me have a look here if I've got it written down somewhere. I don't know if I do. What a shame. I thought I had it written down. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think 4-4 is an 11 reference. Okay, and of course 4-7 is an independence reference. So you've got him jumping over the car, Independence Day, being independent from the system, coming out of the control system, and again the 4-4, the murder, death, kill number. But of course, the death and the resurrection with the that hidden 4-4 is an 11 reference. Okay, but the 729, man, I mean, you just can't write it, I tell you. Anyway, so there's a similarity now with Massive Attack, and in fact, I was just listening to music, and I just happened to watch this. In fact, it popped up, and I was like, oh, I want to watch it, and I watched somebody else, and I watched something else, and I'm like, finally come back to it, and I'm like, you know what? This looks like they've got the same style of video as the Verve, you know, or rather, the Verve's copied Massive Attack, and of course, the Massive Attack was 9/11, and will there be another Massive Attack? Maybe. But I was like, we've got the same style of video, so a twin video. I'm like, you just can't write this stuff. And funnily enough, I went to read the Wikipedia, and it actually mentions in Wikipedia that they're the same style of video. So if somebody's gone to the trouble of actually writing it into Wikipedia as well, which I thought was mental as well. Anyway, let's go through the Massive Attack video now. Definitely go and listen to the lyrics to both of these. Listen to the songs. And again, I'm going to cut this off. But we start with an 8. We've got the two balls rotating here, and again, silver balls rotating. So it's almost like, you know, the sun has become the moon here. And we've got the number 8. Pretty cool. And in fact, let's just click through it rather than press and play too many times. Is that a pit bull dog? I don't know what the hell. Anyway, it's interesting. Got the glasses on. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here. This house number here, I couldn't really make it out. The quality of the video is just... I tried to find a better video. It does kind of almost look like there's an 11 there. It could be a 13 or an 1811. I don't know. If somebody can get a video and find that number, would be interesting. But anyway, so anyway, we come across. Where do we start walking at here? Start walking somewhere here. Catch up with her. She's walking down the street here. Okay, here we go. So we're going to catch up with her. She's walking down the street as well. Okay. The first place she goes by really is. It's a clothing store, but there's a lot of kids' outfits and baby outfits in the window. Okay. And as she's going by it, I don't know if we can. Yeah, it's as she comes around the corner here. So as we come around the corner, we've got the sun here in blue with the father in. Let's just go through a little bit quicker here. Right. We've got the blue and the red of the balanced father with the sun. Okay, here, still in the Virgin Mary colours. Okay, interesting. Check out all the kids' outfits in the window there. So this is the idea of the birth, all right? The initial birth. Okay. I hope I don't miss anything out doing this clicking through. So we have the initial birth. Let's get to something here, Dan. Come on. That's the interesting point. It's coming right up here now. Hang on. Okay, come on, come on. He's gonna come out here in a second. And they're following along here now. Here's the guy. Okay, so we've got this guy here. He's in blue and white, but what's interesting is so he still has Virgin Mary colours on, but if you just get past this bit so you can see him. He's on a skateboard and he's lost his legs. Okay, he's on the skateboard and he's lost his legs. Okay, what's happened there is the number 11. He has lost the number 11. Okay, which is I mean, you know, it's another 9/11 reference. You know, the loss of the number 11, the loss of the two legs. I left a comment on 88 Finiston Porus's video on trading places, and again, Eddie Murphy, right at the start of that, he's on a little board with wheels on it. I don't think it's actually a skateboard. It's but he's on a little board with wheels on it, and he's got his legs tucked up underneath him. So he's essentially lost his legs, and that's his sort of, you know, his begging character at the start of Trading Places. Okay, he's lost his legs. Okay, a 9/11 reference for sure. So there's our 9/11 reference, right? As we move along here, this is kind of interesting as well. Okay, we have this homeless person, right? And we have this flyer that says I'm pretty sure it says ID on it. Okay, and so I is 9 and D is 4 in the alphabet. Okay, 9-4. 9-4. We just did this in the last decode. 9-4. Again, it was this year was Easter Sunday, and it will also be, which is in the dollar bill decode, it will also be Labor Day this year. Okay, going into labor, giving birth. Okay, but the excuse for calling it Labor Day is actually because it's a holiday for people that work. Okay, and it's interesting, we've got this homeless person that you would imagine doesn't have a job right here as well. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. And now look at where we are in the video. 129. Interesting as well. So we have that little flyer there. Okay. Pretty cool. And he's going to follow along for a little bit. And as we go along here, okay, let's see if we get to the next little interesting bit. I'm going to get attacked by a fly here now. Okay. Let's see. Past the ghetto blaster there. Maybe that's another 1/8 reference with the two speaker circles there, and the body of the whole thing forms a 1. I know that's a loose reference for some people. And actually, I guess while I'm on the topic of this, because I don't know if I'll get around to doing a video about it, but the skateboard, that guy's on that skateboard, and actually in Who's That Girl, the Madonna song video, the kid in that has a skateboard, and you'll see the skateboard show up a ton of times. But one decode you could do with the skateboard, let me just go to the chart so I can scribble up here. If you look at the bottom of a skateboard, right? Okay, oh blimmin' hell. Okay, what you end up with is the whole body of the skateboard could be a number 1, right? And then you have the two chucks with the wheels on each side, you know, like capital I's. So if you were looking at the bottom of a skateboard, you've got 2 I's and the rest of the board another 1. So you've potentially got a triple 1 there, or just a number 11 as well. Okay, with the 2 I's at the bottom here. And then while I'm on the topic of that, so that could potentially be another 9/11 reference, with the 111 days left in the year as well. The 3 buildings going down. The what else would you say about it? And also just the number 11 on the bottom of it. One other thing, while I'm thinking about the skateboard, is I'm thinking about Back to the Future. Obviously, with the 9/11 references in Back to the Future 1, obviously he's on a regular skateboard. But then when we get to the Hoover Dam references in number 2, he's on the hoverboard, the Hooverboard, yeah? And the Hooverboard looks like this, okay, with 2 circles on it now at the bottom. Okay, and so I thought that was kind of interesting, because again, you merge those 2 circles, when they come back together, you get the 8. Okay, and of course the body of the board again is the number 1, so we get the 8. So we've got the 18 again with the hoverboard. So I thought that was pretty cool. And also the dollar bill has the 2 seals on the back of it, placed like the 2 little I don't know, hover circles. And so it's a very, very loose connections. But what was the other thing I was going to say about that as well? The sun and the moon, yeah, great. And well, there's something else I was going to mention about that as well, but I've forgotten what it was now. Let's just leave it there, because otherwise I'll be waffling all night. But you get the idea. I've forgotten something, but who cares? So an 8/1 reference. Oh, that was it. The 2 circles, of course, with the 1 is also another, could be another 100 reference. And the 100, again, the 100 pennies, the 100 reference, again, all it is that on its side, So this 100-day jump and the 100, all these 100 references, again, you can get to the 8/1 pretty easily with it, Oh, lots of mosquito trying to attack me here. Anyway, get rid of all that, because we'll come back to that later. Okay, let's continue on. It goes past some, again, things like the guitar, things like the motorbike with 2 wheels on it, and the body of the motorbike potentially could be a nice reference to the number 8 again, the number 18. Okay, the guitar, the body of the guitar, and then the neck of the guitar forming the 1 again. When Marty's saved in Back to the Future the first time, he's starting to disappear from existence, going to the metaphysical, and George kisses Lorraine. They kiss, they cross. At that point, he's playing the guitar, the 1/8, and he's saved again. Okay, so these little references. This is the point we wanted to get to. This dodgy looking guy is on the phone here. He's kind of got like the trench coat on. Kind of reminds me of kind of the Matrix on the phone. And I'm going to get that bug. And so this phone thing, phone home, and I think it was Silver Dream Machine put me onto the phone and the Phoenix reference as well. So obviously this idea of the Phoenix rising from the flames, the phone, is obviously Phoenix. Okay, and she walks past this barber's pole here, with the blue and the red on it. Okay, so the barber's pole, a bit like the maypole, and again, when the maypole starts, there's no ribbons on it, and then the ribbons get tied around it, and you could look at that in 2 formats. You could look at it as going back into the Matrix, especially if the colors, depending on the colors of the ribbons, and again, we've got blue and red stripes here, which is obviously a more balanced looking maypole than maybe, say, all blue or something, or like a green and blue ribbons or something like that on there. So you got to kind of pay attention. But this is the bar bar, yeah, the bar bar. And again, that could be a 5-1 reference with Mayday. So going past Mayday now. And again, we've got two twins coming out of it. Well, they're not really twins, but they're wearing black the same. So it's almost like another 9/11 reference there. And to the Black Pearl. And he's still following along on the journey here. Like it's like he's coming. Like this is the guy in the Matrix in the trench coat, and he's following and making the journey home now. Okay. So okay, carry on, Dan, carry on. What she passes this old girl again with the Virgin Mary colours, and she is holding a little ball thing. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's red and white. So maybe a blood moon reference, i.e. the spiritual side, the metaphysical side coming back into balance now. Like what we had with the barber's pole maybe there. And what is interesting is 2 seconds later she is passing a children's cot, a crib. Okay, so another reference to like the rebirth with this dude here. And on we go, and we're going to get to a point now. Interesting with the sun hitting her in the face here. Okay. I mean, there's just tons of like little references. There's a look at the fire hydrant here. It's a really big red fire hydrant, making quite a nice red cross there behind her here. So that's another nice little reference to the blood moon, to the St. George's cross. The Indian here in Diana. Obviously, Diana is the better version of the moon, rather than Karen, the old crone. You know, that version of the moon is not the good version. Okay, and we've got this is interesting. This guy coming out with a red packet. I don't know what it is. He comes out with something that's red. It's in a blue wheelie thing, and it's coming out of the netted area. So I thought that was interesting. And also, she goes past this little picture with the rainbow on it. You know, the covenant between man and God after the deluge. Again, interesting. Let's carry on. I just really want to get through this now. Let's get to what you'll notice is as she's coming along here, there's more and more. Well, I say the colours are getting more and more. They're getting better. Okay, this is interesting as well. I don't know if this is a ham that this guy is carrying, and that could be like a nice reference to Hamilton. Again, Hamilton has the damn fold on it as well with in his is it the $10 bill? I can't remember now. Okay, and then she's coming across again. We got, remember, these two lines on the road here. You know, the crosswalk area. Again, the Twin Towers again. Twin Towers references. The guy is still following, and what the hell happened back? Something else happened there. I guess coming through the Twin Towers there, the 11 again, and we've got these two making out here, the red and the blue, man and woman back together, kissing again. Kissing, crossing, yeah. Also, they did the crossing there with the 9/11. Right. What's interesting here is, let me see if I can just play this a little bit, because I really have to. I've actually stopped it just at the right place. She's walking along and she's looking up with her eyes. Okay, the whole time she's kind of been not doing this, but she does a look up with her eyes here, a very significant look up. And we go past the phone box again, the Phoenix again. So the resurrection again with Phoenix looking up, and what she's looking at is up here. Okay, a number. Okay, now I don't know if you'll be able to make this out on this part of the building, but this number is as she comes along here, let's see, we didn't really get it there, but the number is what she was looking up, is up in this corner here, right? So if we carry on, we'll see the number again because it's on the door here, or part of this wall here. Okay, come on. Okay, here it is. It's coming up. 2618. Okay, that's what she's looking up at. And look at this dudette here with the Wonder Woman type thingy on her face, with the glasses, with the red, the blood moon, the balanced moon, the blue of the Holy Spirit. Very interesting that she's passing right at this point. And the 2618 again. Initially, I'm thinking, well, the 26. There's a couple of references there. Obviously, whenever I see a 26, I'm thinking the alphabet. A lot of the time, I'm thinking the start of this whole thing with the corona with Kobe Bryant, that date. But I'm thinking the alphabet with the 126 in that set of numbers. I'm thinking the beginning and the end, A to Z. I'm thinking the alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. And of course the 18. And of course 26, if we go to the chart of Lorraine, I'll show you as well, 26, why 26 is so important. And, you know, maybe why the Kobe thing was on the 26 and why you see this show up so much. But when you do the cross-reference for 2 and 6, again, here we are, we're at the 18. Okay, the 1-8. Okay, so this, of course, the 1st of August looks pretty hot right now for something to happen. Whether it's this year or not, I don't know. But I don't know, maybe it's just a clue towards another set of numbers. I don't know. But anyway, the red door as well. You know, imagine that, the red door. Okay, and then as you've watched the rest of this, you'll see that the colours are much more. Oh, that guy's got a collar a bit like an Elvis collar there, which is again the beginning and the end. Elvis is born the 8th of January, and what we're talking about is the resurrection of a lot of stuff that happened in 1935. Of course, the backside of the dollar bill is a 1935 design, which of course has a reference to being reversed. And then what else have I got? The Hoover Dam is finished 1935. They've got 2 years for that. They've got 1935 and 36. So Hoover and Elvis, and Elvis has a song about a dog called Hoover. What else? What else I was thinking for 35? Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, that's potentially an Elvis reference there. Don't know. Didn't see that before. But anyway, carrying on, you'll see that the colours of people popping out here and there are much brighter, and reds and blues and yellows. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But you know, the idea of massive attack and the massive attack of 9/11, you know, I mean, come on. And interestingly, the other thing is as well, I mean, you have to look at every little thing here, because the perspective changes here as well. Like, we've got the camera in front of her, you know, we're walking in front of her with the camera looking back at her, and then as we get to this point here, okay, where she's looking up at this thing, she changes, you know, and this is going on past now. Okay, so there's a lot of little bits and bobs. I probably missed some bits and bobs out of there. I'll probably be like, oh gosh, when I look back and see what I've done. But very interesting nonetheless. Okay, what more do I want to say about it? That's it. So that's it for the videos. Let's just whiz to I don't know what number that is there. I was just having a quick look there. Not important, not right, really important right this second. But let's go to the Massive Attack Wikipedia page. Let's just have a quick scroll through. One thing that stands out is the producer, songwriter, um, this character, Jonathan Sharp, who is known as Johnny Dollar. Johnny Dollar, and of course John is a derivative of one. Okay, the one. Okay, or Jones, or So again, um, interesting, very interesting, with the reference to the dollar, and another little reference to the dollar here with 211. Why is that a reference to the dollar? Because Washington, if you go to the old calendar, Washington is born on February the 11th. Okay, so again, pretty interesting. What else do I want to say about it? I don't think I really want to rattle on about it too much more, but there's just some interesting bits there. Bittersweet Symphony, again. Oh boy, we could go around. We could talk about this one for quite some time now. You know why? Because the whole thing that happened with that song, there was a bittersweet symphony that played out with the whole song as well, and that was for the people that don't know, the Verve essentially took a sample from the Stones, from the Rolling Stones, right? Now, obviously, the reference to the Rolling Stone is obviously pretty important, without a doubt. But the whole thing, it kind of reeks, the whole story about what happened with the song. And okay, what happened was, they took a sample. They got permission to have a sample from one of these, from this old Stones song, and I think, what was it called? It's written down in here. I've got it up in the player up here. The Last Time. Okay, The Last Time. That again is a little bit ominous, where it's supposedly originally lifted from. Well, if you listen to the song The Last Time, it doesn't sound a bit like the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony. Okay, well, what happened is I think he was a Stones producer at the time, Andrew Oldham, right? He basically, I guess he used part of that song. I think it's part of the guitar riff, and what he did was he basically created I don't know, a musical, just instrumental soundtrack to that, which had all the sort of the orchestral stuff that you'd recognize, and some of the ding dongs and all the rest of it that you would recognize in the Verve's version. Okay, so that was the sample they were taking. Anyway, the long and short of the story is basically the Verve gets screwed out of making any money out of the song, and I think it's all 100% initially, and not until a few years back do they get the recognition for the song that they probably deserve. Because, to be quite honest, the whole story here is about the greed of the system, and the copyright owners basically taking the Verve to the cleaners, and basically screwing them out of some rightful money out of the deal. Okay, and that's the long and short of that little story. But it's a story about how the Matrix screws you over, which I thought was interesting. And it's a story about the ridiculousness of the protectionism of the Matrix to do with copyright and patent and all this other stuff that is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. that song, in all honesty, was never going to go anywhere as a massive song left on a vinyl record, and even if it was re-released by Andrew Oldham or whoever owned the copyright, it was never going to be a big hit, you know, until the Verve did something with it, you know, and that's the shame about the system, is when things like that happen, and it's always the little man that gets screwed, you know. They're up and coming band, and they get screwed by the big fish, basically. Um, anyway, I think they've got a little bit of they've been given some of the royalties back now and the rest of it, but it's one of those things. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 20 years later or something daft, you know, when they got their. Hang on. Oh, oh no, this is just a reference to. Oh, Ashcroft said sarcastically, "Bittersweet Symphony was the best song Jagger and Richards had written in 20 years." Yeah, pretty funny. Um, but I don't think they even wrote the song. They lifted it from, according to what's been said in here at least. They lifted it from an old blues song, or an old no, not an old blues song, an old what was it? I don't know. They lifted it from somewhere themselves, basically. Well, it says in here somewhere. Let's just go through it because it is kind of interesting. The last time songwriting, blah blah blah. Oh, I don't know. I can't read it quick enough to go through it. But anyway, they lifted it, and then it was basically the producer at the time that probably had quite a bit of talent actually did that strings version of it, so to speak, or whatever you call it, and the rest is history. Then Ashcroft lifted it, and they made a mega big hit out of it, basically. But just anyway, nothing more really to say about it other than it's just an interesting story, getting screwed by the system, basically. I'm going to leave it there for the decode because now I'm just whiffly waffling. But of course, the massive attack, 9/11, and is there going to be another massive attack? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, cheers, bye.